What's going on, guys? Today I'm working on a 1984 Hobie 18, and I'm using this boat to show you a problem I ran into when replacing the jib block here. So you can see I've got a new Harken jib block. Going to replace the original tired block where the spring is worn down, so this won't stand up, and the pulley doesn't quite rotate as freely as I'd like it to. So the problem I ran into, as you can see on the new block, it's modular. There's a pin that comes out to allow you to attach it to the jib traveler. We can pull the plunger up and the traveler moves around. My traveler is in fairly good shape, but what I'm seeing is there's no way for me to easily disconnect the original block and attach my new one. So the first thought I had was perhaps there's a way to get to the back of the traveler car, and maybe there's a way to unscrew the original block. So let's pull this traveler car out of the traveler, look on the back, and you can see this loop is basically just spot welded in there. So there's actually there's three possible solutions. I'll show you what's been done on a different boat and the solution that I ended up going with. So right off the bat, the most difficult solution is to actually replace the entire traveler assembly, and this traveler is out of production. The other travelers I find, the rivets don't line up, so that is my least viable option, as it would involve drilling out rivets, doing some fiberglass work. But let's go ahead and check out another boat to see what I think is the best solution for this problem. So here we have a 1978 Hobie, and the original pulley has been replaced already. And you can see on this traveler car, you can actually unscrew this loop. So this is an aftermarket traveler car that they purchased. And if I could find one of these for sale, I would have bought it. But I could not find a traveler car that allows you to unscrew that loop. Couldn't find it in stock anywhere. But if you are able to use this or locate one for your traveler, then this is definitely the easiest solution, as you just have to pop out the traveler car, install the new one, and it'll let you attach any sort of pulley or block that you want. The solution I opted for was to use a Dremel tool to cut the old block off. You can see there's a remnant of it. And with the old block and spring coming off, I was able to attach a Ronston narrow shackle that I then attached the modular Harken shackle to. And I stretched the spring out a little bit because that did increase the length here, and I wanted it to still stand up. But that was the solution I opted for because I could not find a different car, and I did not want to do the extensive work required to replace the traveler assembly. The Dremel cutoff wheel I'm using is the Easy Lock 1 1/2 inch, and I found that wedging a very small screwdriver into the spring helps get it out of the way, although that is optional. So I can get that old junk out of here. And you will have to cut this out as well. This cup for the spring, it just is too bulky. It gives too much interference with putting the new shackle bolt through this little opening. And I use a Dremel tool for that as well. So sorry guys, I'm just not able to record this part using one hand, but as you can see, I'm just slicing off little pieces of the spring cup, and I'm trying to take care not to nick the traveler. You can see I'm gouging the rails a little bit here, but not enough to make it weak or anything like that. But I'm gonna keep hacking away at this, and then eventually I'll get the spring cup out of here and we can proceed with installing the new block. All right guys, so I hacked the spring cup into bits and I was able to extricate it from this loop. And I did remove the Traveler car from the Traveler so I could get at it with the grinding wheel without having to worry so much about nicking up my boat. And I'm showing you here why I have to use this narrow shackle. This is the shackle that came with the Harken pulley. And as you can see, it just can't fit through here. Just not quite enough clearance. And so I need to use this one to complete the chain. We can get it all back together. And I put the narrow shackle on first and follow that up with the Harken shackle while I hold the spring out of the way. With the narrow shackle on, we can proceed to put the Harken shackle through it. And both of those go through the spring. And at this point, I'll probably have to put the camera back down to get the block pin put through the shackle. So everything is complete. We're just waiting to put this last bit in. And I'll show you a trick I found. If you use the screwdriver, you can go ahead and spread this C-clip out. And it's simple enough to just go ahead and start this in here. Boom. And then you just twist it. And that's that. Couldn't be simpler. But yeah, this was the solution that I went with on my boat. I'm curious to hear about any problems you've ran into with the jib travelers and what solutions you guys have found to proceed with getting your boat rigged up. And I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you have any questions.